my Flagstaff home. Today I'm going to share with you a Pinterest project. This is something that I pinned probably a year and a half ago and have been thinking about doing and have finally gotten around to doing this. Anyway, I'm gonna link over on my blog at myflagstaffhome.com. I'm gonna put the exact Pinterest link so that you can, go and see how it looks on Pinterest. But I wanted to kind of walk you through what I did here, and I'll also have a blog post over there that goes through all of this stuff and how to do it. So you can just look for the link in the space below and then head on over there after this. But anyway, let me first show you how this project looks. Now the one that was on Pinterest actually kind of looked a little bit cuter because they had vines and stuff that were growing up around this thing. It looked really adorable. I don't have that. And my garden needs a bit of encouragement. So I thought having something on the fence near my flower garden needs encouragement. Having a little something up there saying, grow, just might give my flowers a little bit of incentive. So anyway, okay, so to do this project, what you need are 4 cake pans. And I actually saw somebody else who was talking about this project, and they had assumed that those were terracotta, like the things that you put underneath a plant. And so I thought it looked like it was that those things were metal. And so I have been collecting cake pans. There's 4 of them that you need for this, 1 for each letter of the word grow. And I found 1 of them at a garage sale, 2 of them at a thrift store, and 1 of them at Goodwill. So I had the cake pans, and then I also went to thrift stores and Goodwill to find my frames. I found different ones. I have this one. I have another one that is kind of the same color. I have this fatter one right here, and I have another one that's kind of more of a blonde color, and that I'm using for that. And I picked those up, like I said, at thrift stores. I think the most expensive one was this thicker one here, this fatter one, and that was $2. So I was determined not to spend a lot of money on this. Okay, the most expensive thing that I purchased for this was the stencils for these pans. I went to Michael's, and I just couldn't find, I looked online and everywhere and could not find them for really, really cheap. They were the stencils, a pack of all the letters of the alphabet and a few other little symbol kind of things, was $16, but I had a 50% off coupon, so I got them for 8. I can reuse those things on other projects, so I didn't feel too bad about spending the money. I also purchased some outdoor acrylic paint. I don't have the exact one with me right now, but here's the size of the bottle. And so this is by a company called Craft Smart. And they sell these at Michael's for, I think these were $1.29 a piece. So I got one in black, and then some paintbrushes, and then a can of Krylon sealer. And you can either get it in a matte finish or a gloss. I already had some in a gloss, and so that's what I used. Matte finish would be fine for this. There's no real reason why you need it to be glossy. But anyway, so I took, let me just show you, this is the G. I took the stencils, I kind of cut them down so that they would fit inside this cake pan area right here. And then I kind of held it down. I didn't even tape them down or anything, and took a paintbrush, a nice fat paintbrush, and painted in the stencil. Now, what I did was I left the stencil on there, left it to dry, and I did another coat and left it to dry. And when I went to peel the stencil off, it started peeling the paint away. So what I did with my other ones is that I put the stencil on there, I painted the first coat on, and while it was still wet, I pulled the stencil off. Then I let it dry. Then I went back with a paintbrush without the stencil and just went around and painted a second coat so it was nice and dark. And then I let all of these dry. After that, I took my sealer, so I have this can, it's like a can of spray paint, and took it outside. You don't want to do this inside or even in a garage, you know, it's kind of closed in and you'll suffocate. So anyway, you hold this out. You want to have the sealer about 1 foot away from this, and you just kind of spray back and forth 3 times in each area. Make sure that all of the painted part of the bottom of the pan is covered. So you don't want to put it out there in the elements and then have this acrylic paint start to chip off. So then I set these outside because letting them dry inside is just going to stink up your house. So I just set them outside to dry. And then what my husband did to help me out is that he drilled a little hole. I don't know if you can see it right here. He just drilled a little hole big enough for a nail to go through in the top of each one. So you want to center it in a way that it's going to sit straight on the fence instead of putting it over here, unless you want it to be tilted, you know, you could do that too. So yeah, that was really it. Then the only other thing that I had to do was go put nails in my fence. And so you put up, here, you put up the frame, and I just put a couple of nails so that the frame would sit on that. And then a cake pan goes in the center of each one. And so, yeah, that was all there was to it. So you just need to collect some cake pans. Don't spend, you know, full price on that. You could spend $10 on a cake pan. You don't want this project to be that expensive. So just look for some real cheap cake pans and frames, and head over to Michael's to get the rest of the stuff, and you are good to go. So once again, let me show you what it looks like. So here is the finished product. I just put the pans and the frames up with little like pin nail kind of things, and hung everything on there. And as you can see, when I turn this way, got my flower garden over here that needs encouragement to grow. Those are walls of water, by the way. I put in some new flowers and they were kind of getting beaten by the sun. So those are sort of protecting them until they get going on their own. But I've got this, and then this nice little encouragement to my flowers to start growing. Also, I'm gonna link the exact post in the space below to my blog at myflagstaffhome.com, where I'll go through each of the steps for this, and you can refer back to it over there. And if you're interested in following me on my blog, you can there's a lot of different ways you can follow me on my blog. Just look in that menu that's on the right side of the page. If you're not currently subscribed to my channel, I'd sure love it if you would. So if you could just hit that button right there, YouTube will let you know when I upload new videos to this channel, which is several times a week. So anyway, I hope you'll come along on My Flagstaff Home, and we'll see you again. Bye-bye.